Well, good morning guys, it's Jess. Today is Thursday. Yesterday I wasn't able to pot up my terrarium because it was raining. This morning, and at least today, it's sunny. There's a bit of cloud, but I thought it was just perfect time for me to pot up my terrarium. I was really excited, guys, so I'm keen to show you guys the process. Now, the last you would have seen is I didn't make enough sphagnum moss, so I'm gonna do that now. But then also I just quickly wanted to show you guys the plants that I'm thinking of putting in here. So guys, I've got my orchids that I want to put in here, and then I've got my Rhaphidophria Carpanthes. I've got this one, and then I've got this one here, this cutting. This cutting was actually doing okay in my fish tank, where I put some of my plants which require a little bit more warmth and humidity. But I think why it's becoming leggy is because it doesn't really have anything to cling on. So I'm hoping it really enjoys this sphagnum wall. Guys, my sad little Terrarium crystallonium, he just keeps yellowing. Before you'd have seen him, he's had, I think I had to chop up 2 leaves, and I'm probably going to chop up this one. I don't know, guys. I'm hoping his little leaf hangs on or at least does better in here. I've got some of my orchids. This guy's been underwatered, so it's dried. It's quite dry there. But guys, this orchid, this is the Lucida discolor. It's actually quite a hardy orchid to have. If you're firstly getting into jewel orchids, I highly recommend this one because super easy to take care of. I know my one doesn't look that great at the moment, but guys, you don't need to worry too much about you don't need to worry too much about underwatering. Overwatering is a different story, but he's quite easy to look after. Got my jewel orchid here. I always forget the name. It's either Matola Petola or Petola Matola. Another jewel orchid. Now I know this one's a hybrid. He's got a beautiful coppery sheen. Look at that, so pretty. And then here, guys, I'm deciding whether I should put my George Costanza in here. At first I thought there's not going to be enough space, but now I think there actually might be enough space. And my Philodendron Exilium, I just figured he might like a little bit more humidity and light, and he's got a wall to climb on. Oh, and then I had some Monstera El Salvador cuttings that I thought might do better in there as well. But guys, these are the plants I'm proposing to put in here. The other thing I need to be mindful of is I think I've got to find like some blue tack to stick that moss ball back so it doesn't fall. Guys, the first thing we're going to do now is I'm going to make some more of that sphagnum moss, just so I can start potting my plants in. But I'm super excited, guys, super excited. I can't wait to do this. But yeah, let's go make the sphagnum moss now. Alright guys, so I've made some more of that sphagnum moss, and this is it here. The only difference though, guys, is I didn't put much soil in because I figured I'm probably going to use some of the other soil that's that I've got my other plants potted in. The only risk is though that this substrate that I've created is quite pure, if that makes sense. There's no bugs in it because it's straight from the packet, whereas the risk of putting some of the soil from my existing plants is that these guys, some of them might already have pests in, so it might be risky introducing pests into this terrarium, which of course I don't want. But I'm hoping I'd only use a teeny bit of that soil to help me pot them up. Now I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to pot up these Rhaphidophria Carpanthes first at the back. So I'm going to do the trailing plants at the back, and then I'm going to move to the foreground. Actually guys, I realized that because these are hard to sort of lay on the sphagnum moss, I realized I'm just going to take the wall out and I'm just going to place them on there, and I probably have to use some fishing wire to hold them down, otherwise they're not going to stay. Silly me guys, silly me. Guys, this looks like a craft project that doesn't know what it's doing. I think I'm just trying to lay the plants on in a way that I like before I actually think about how do I make them stay on the wall. I haven't figured that out guys. But yeah, we'll have to see, we'll have to see. Alright guys, I think I figured it out. It's probably not the most aesthetically pleasing. But what I did guys, if you can see, I put 3 fishing wires across, and so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to just slip the Crypanthus through and it will hold it in place. But that's what I think I'm going to do guys. Alright guys, what do you guys think? It's probably not the most prettiest thing, but at least they're stuck on vertically. The trick is they really do need to cling on to the sphagnum, and I hope they do, but they look secure enough. I left some space because I think I've got some other trailing plants that will go up here, but yeah guys, at least they're holding on, they're holding on. I'm gonna spray this, so I'm gonna spray this with some water. The trick guys also is when you are laying down your Crypanthus, just gotta make sure that they have little, they have the little nodes, and that's where the roots are gonna come out. So you wanna make sure that the nodes are pressing into the sphagnum so they can take root. Also, you wanna make sure that their leaves also lie flat against the sphagnum. But hopefully these guys are gonna grow, at least hopefully they do better than where they were before, which was just in this tub. Hopefully they're gonna be a lot happier. I'm gonna put this guy back in here, and then I'm gonna mount this one. This one should be a little bit more easier because his nodes are a lot more pronounced and protruding, and he's rooted, so I'm gonna actually pot him in there. But I've got to put this wall back in there first. This guy's got some pretty good roots guys. I don't know if you can pick that up. He's a very well established rooting. He's a very well established plant. Sorry, it's really not focusing, eh? I guess you have to take my word for it, but he's pretty well established, so I'm going to see if I can plant him right in here. I was just measuring up some of these plants. I think my Exilium is too big to put in there. What do you guys think? He's probably going to outgrow it real quick, eh? I'm not sure. But I thought the reason why I wanted to put him in is because I thought it'd just be a more suitable environment for him. Like hoping to give him the best environment. Sorry, my hair's crazy. But I just think it'd be a bit too big for him. Yeah, it looks too big. I might then just pot up my El Salvador cuttings instead in the back, where there's a bit of space here. It's here. So I'm going to put this guy up here so he has something to trail up. Wow, and this cutting's got some pretty fantastic roots, guys. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Let's hope he's encouraged to get more foliage when he has something to trail on. But his roots are amazing. Look at that. Such awesome cutting. Alright guys, I've got a Zoom call to hop into, but after that let's come back and finish this off. You can see I used a bit more of the soil that came with my cutting because I figured he's probably enjoying it if he's giving me those roots. I popped it up back there. These are the first plants into the terrarium. The one thing I be mindful of is if you decide to use the soil that your plant came in, particularly if you bought it straight from the nursery. A tip that Sherpa Design says is to actually wash your plants, because you don't want to introduce pests into quite a enclosed and ideally sterile environment such as the terrarium. But I guess with my cutting, I know where it's come from, and I mean, I could have washed him a bit, but I guess I was just too keen to get him in here. But that's something to be mindful, guys, that when you are creating a terrarium, you don't want to be, you just want to make sure that the plants you put in here are pest free. Hello, I'm back. So we are up to potting up some other plants in here, and I think, guys, what I might do is I'm going to put up, I have decided actually, whoopsies, that I'm going to put my George Costanza in here. I think he will go quite nicely there. He's a bigger plant, he'll be in the background, and then my orchids and my smaller plants can go up front. But guys, when you are planning your terrarium, always, my suggestion is always have a play around, see how the different plants look like before you actually pop them in, because you know, when you put them in, it's a lot harder to take out. So guys, let's pop George Costanza into the terrarium. I think his roots could be a little bit more established, guys. He hasn't been doing too well, actually. I'm hoping putting him into the terrarium is going to make him do a lot better. This is another plant, guys, that's actually quite easy to take care of, and I guess the lesson learned for me for this plant is that he's not that fussy, but I do want him to thrive because he's a very beautiful plant, right? It's got beautiful patterns and details on it, so hopefully by putting him here, he's gonna do a bit better. He's a floor dweller, so he doesn't need a lot of light, but I think it's the humidity. I don't think I have enough humidity if I just keep him outdoors. I don't think I've given him enough humidity, which is why he might not be doing so well, but hopefully putting him in here does a lot better.
Hi guys, so this is my plant here. It's a great plant.
Do you want to be on camera?
No. You should put that in. Your face all round and shit.
Alright,
hi guys, welcome to another episode of Wheel the Plant Grow.
Alright guys, so he's in here. The only concern I have is maybe there's not enough light for the Crypanthus in the background. What do you guys think? Should I have turned this guy maybe facing this side? I should have thought about that, eh? I think I might need to, because then they're not getting much light. It's amusing, because when I said at the beginning, I was like, make sure you think about where you put your plants, and now I've put a plant in, now I have to dig it back up again. Oh, actually guys, I just cheated. I just twisted this plant around. So I think he's going to be okay. I think that's a lot better. It's not as shading the Crypanthus in the background. Alright guys, next I think I'm going to put up my Crystallinium. Now guys, his roots are doing okay, so I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, it's a good sign. Look at how good the roots are. Probably have to get rid of this leaf, or at least chop a bit of it off. I'm not sure. I think this guy doesn't do well in too much humidity. I might cut this bit off too. Guys, always sterilize your cutting tools. Spray this guy with some rubbing alcohol. Always sterilize your cutting tools before you chop up your plants. Looking good, guys. Oh, I'm pretty excited. Okay, cool. Alright guys, I'm gonna put these orchids in soon. I think I'm gonna put them in there, and I think we should be done, guys. Guys, I want to show you this. This is tube stock. So this is how nurseries grow plants. When they're little plantlets, they wrap it around this, I guess, gauze. And what it does is that it keeps the plants sturdy before they before they pot it in. However, when you're growing plants, actually restricts the roots, guys, and a good thing to do when you first get new plants is actually always take off that gauze or inspect it to see if there's gauze, because what it does is that it can actually cause root rot, because you're not giving the chance for a lot of air to get to the roots. You're really compacting the soil around those roots. I'm a bit worried about what's happening here. I think he's got a few tubers, but good thing I took him out, guys, and checked. Always check for that bit of gauze when you buy plants, particularly from commercial nurseries, because you always want to take this off. It's not great for your plants. And you can see that he hasn't got many roots. I guess it's because this is probably restricted a bit. I don't know if you guys are able to see how compact that soil was before I started breaking it away. This guy to go in next. I think I might put him in the middle. He could be the star of the show. He's quite beautiful. And it's done, guys. I think I put way too much dirt in, but I was having trouble potting these guys in. Alright guys, I'm gonna clean this mess up. It's a little bit dirty everywhere, so I'm gonna clean this up and show you guys properly the final product. Alright guys, so I've swept up the floor. I just got rid of some dirt and everything lying around, but now I'm just gonna clean up the sides of the terrarium, because you can see that there's a little bit of dirt around here. So I just want to make it look pretty before I bring him in. He's kind of looking pretty good, right guys? Now, I've got this paintbrush here, because a good way to dust off dirt is to use a paintbrush. So this one is a paintbrush I had lying around. We don't use it anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and dust off the dust effectively. I think I'm done. Oh. I know this is not the best looking terrarium, but I'm pretty proud of him. I really hope the plants in here are gonna like it. What do you guys think? It's like I said, it's quite messy, eh? I didn't really, it's not the most aesthetic looking terrarium, but I'm pretty chuffed about it, guys. Pretty am. The door's locked, so the plants can't escape. What I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna give it a spray for the plants inside, and then I'm gonna bring him indoors. Hey guys, so I've got the light bulb here, and I'm going to put him in this cap, the compact top, before I put it up on the terrarium. Sorry, I sound out of breath. Well, I've just been running around a bit, but guys, well, let's do this now. The one I got here, this is actually for rainforest type of environment, which I thought would be quite good for my terrarium. Looks like this. Alright guys, so I've screwed this light bulb in and I've popped it on top, which looks like this. The moment of truth, guys. Oh, my battery's running out. Okay, so turn the switch on, and there's a switch back here. No! Nothing seems to be happening. Oh no, there might be something wrong with it. Turn this off. Might be something wrong with the actual canopy. Or the bulb? Maybe something's wrong with the bulb. Oh, Guys, this is so anticlimactic. Hey guys, so afraid that was a little bit anticlimactic. I wish the light was working, but you know, maybe there's something wrong with the manufacturing. So I've just actually dropped a note to the sellers of the compact top and the light bulb. I think it's the compact top. But I guess I've just got to try out and see if another light bulb will work. But yeah guys, I actually was hoping we could end this with a bang. I'm actually editing the video right now. So yeah guys, I still hope you enjoyed watching this terrarium making video. If there are any questions on maybe where I got my Exo, I should have actually shared that. It's an Exo Terra Nano terrarium. So let me know if you guys want any details about that, or actually I'll probably just link them in the description below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.